Here we are again, one day after a big mid-season update in Apex, and there's a ton of glitches, problems, and things they just straight up lied to us about in the patch notes. So let's cover all of these in today's video. First thing I want to point out is that the turbocharger was removed from the Havoc. And that's fine, but because the turbocharger was removed, it means that the level 80 weapon trial for the Havoc is now impossible. Because for this trial, you have to kill 5 enemies with the turbocharger equipped in a single match. And you have to do this 10 times and you'll get the tracker set for the Havoc. But that's now completely impossible because the turbocharger isn't in the game. I'm not sure how this wasn't noticed by any developer or playtester before rolling out the patch. It's kind of wild, but I wonder what they'll do to this weapon trial, as of course the turbocharger is the fundamental part of the trial as a whole. But speaking of changes in the patch notes, one of the best changes was actually a quality of life change for inventory management. It stated that they added the ability to manage your inventory while healing and ziplining. And would you be surprised if I told you that was a lie? Okay, well, not a lie, but they messed up. Because you can manage your inventory while ziplining just fine. You can drop items in the middle of a zipline. But I tried doing it while healing and it doesn't work. I don't know how they included it in the patch notes and just forgot to add it to the game, but if you try healing with any kind of healing item, you'll still be unable to manage your inventory and drop items. Hopefully they fix this pretty soon, because they did mention it in the patch notes. Something they secretly changed without mentioning the patch notes, they removed the ability to tap strafe on the gravity launchers at Lotus on the district map. Before the mid-season, it was pretty easy to tap strafe on these gravity launchers, and that would give you a lot more unpredictability, and you could land on some of the other buildings that you necessarily wouldn't expect to land on just by taking the launcher. And now that just isn't possible. Whether it was on purpose or by mistake, I'm not too sure. But movement players will definitely be mad about this, and movement haters will be pretty happy. Personally, I don't care enough to join the argument, so you can go at each other in the comments, but don't go for me. It's not only buffs and nerfs that are affecting gameplay this update though, some of these skins are impacting the gameplay as well. If we take a look at Crypto's Ultimate Plus Battle Pass skin, it looks great, right? The Neonymous skin comes with the glowing holographic mask that we saw in the Loba and Fuse skin last split. It's a 10 out of 10 skin, except for the fact that it's pay to lose. When you're using Crypto's off the grid perk, the mask and the arms are still fully visible and they glow bright blue, so it's pretty easy to spot them from a distance, which completely negates the point of him being invisible. I'm really not sure if there's any playtesting going on anymore at Respawn, because the Crypto perk only just came out this season and it's a pretty big change making Crypto invisible, so I'm sure they should have tested it, but no, this completely crossed their minds. So if you decide to spend $20 for the skin, expect to be at a disadvantage for the time being. And don't be confused when the enemies start shooting you while you're invisible. But speaking of buying the $20 Ultimate Plus Battle Pass, I thought I'd mention that if you already bought the Premium Pass for 950 Apex coins and were considering getting the Ultimate Plus Pass, it seems at first that you don't get any discount on the $20 price tag. Even though you've already got the Premium Pass, it feels like you should get a discount. Well, it turns out if you already have the Premium Pass and buy the Ultimate or the Ultimate Plus Pass, then you do get refunded your 950 Apex coins, so it isn't a scam. Don't worry, if you decide later on you want the Ultimate version, then you get a full refund of your coins, which is pretty nice. It would just be nice if they advertised that, so I thought I'd mention that for any of you that might come across this. And if you decide to spend those Apex coins on buying some brand new Space Hunt event packs for a chance to get the Serpent Sting Universal Melee, you might also want to know this. It says on the main page of the event that there's a 1% chance to get the Serpent Sting out of any of the event packs that you open. And while those odds are still pretty bad, it might give you some hope that maybe you should buy a few of the discounted packs for 100 coins or 300 coins and try your luck at that 1%. Well, don't get fooled, because it turns out if you click the info when buying a pack, it actually states that the chance to get the Serpent Sting is less than 1%. I'm not sure why they can't just put the less than 1% on the main screen of the event, but the odds are even lower than you thought, and you will probably end up having to buy all 36 packs in order to get the Serpent Sting. But hey, I guess that means you'll also get the 20 exotic shards as the Milestone Rewards, which you can spend on fully upgrading the Serpent Sting to have the holographic spikes effect when you get kills or become the kill leader, and the death box. In my opinion, I think the holographic kill tracker thing should have been standard on the Universal Heirloom, especially since you've got to pay so much for it in this event. or of course spend 150 heirloom shards. It seems kind of greedy to suck out 10 exotic shards just for such a small change. And you may also be wondering, where is the next Legend Heirloom? We got a small leak of the Newcastle Heirloom, and a lot of players are expecting us to finally get a new Legend Heirloom again soon. And of course, we just got the Serpent Sting, which isn't an artifact, it's a universal melee. Not entirely sure what the difference is. I guess it just doesn't have a bunch of variants. Well, it turns out in the game files, there's still another artifact ready to go. There is codename for the Karambit, which is another artifact in the game files, and this will also have 5 variants, just like the Cobalt Guitar, so it'll have a bunch of variants that you'll have to spend exotic shards on just to unlock those. And since those are in the game files, there's a good chance we're going to be getting this during this split or in Season 23, and the chances of a new Legend Heirloom seem to be falling and falling. So don't get your hopes up for a new Legend Heirloom anytime soon. It looks like another artifact is on the way. Also, on that note, there's more stuff in the game files to suggest another heirloom recolor on the way. Bloodhound's heirloom recolor should be on the way, as there are even more new animations set for Bloodhound's heirloom, which signifies an upcoming recolor. Apparently, one of these animations will also be a special door kick animation where Bloodhound pulls out Fuse's launcher. Apex really honing in on the romance between Fuse and Bloodhound there. And you may also be excited for Pathfinder's Prestige skin, which we know is coming in the Techno Terror event on the 15th of October. And this is a collection event, so it's pretty nice. If you do want that Pathfinder Prestige skin, you can buy out that collection event. But in the game files, there's also code for the next Prestige skin, which you wouldn't believe this, is going to be for Alter. To think that legends as old as Newcastle and Maggie don't even have their heirlooms yet, but the newest legend, Alter, is already getting her Prestige skin is kind of wild. But in fairness to the devs, they never said they'd release heirlooms or Prestige skins in the order of release. They just release the ones that they want and the ones that they like the idea of when they decide to do it. But I thought I'd give you that info just so you know what to expect in terms of cosmetics in the near future. Now, on to a more exciting note. We've been talking about the Lifeline rework for a pretty long time, and in the game files, there's a new icon for Lifeline's drone that's appeared after the mid-season update, and Lifeline's rework is rumored for Season 23, so this lines up pretty well. And this new Lifeline drone icon, you can see the handle on the drone is more prominent, it sticks up, and one of her leaked passive abilities was that she can use her drone to glide a short distance, so that could indicate that the passive ability is in fact true. And now I truly believe the Lifeline rework is just around the corner, which probably suggests no new legend next season, and instead there is just going to be the Lifeline rework, which was leaked quite a few seasons ago, and now it's finally becoming a reality. Anyway, how have you been finding Season 22.2? The mid-season update had some pretty interesting changes like the Valkyrie buffs, but it also came with a lot of glitches. I also heard that people's game was crashing like every other game, and that may have been a result of them adding kill replays to ranked. So if you've been having any issues this update, also let me know in the comments, and hopefully they get resolved pretty soon.